The Golden Lion Shiki is back. In December 2009, a film was released in Japan called One Piece Film Strong World, featuring the pre-time skip Strap Pirates and the Golden Lion Pirates, led by their legendary captain, the Golden Lion Shiki. Shiki was one of the few men to truly rival Gold D. Roger at his prime, and was the first person to ever escape Impel Down. 27 years ago, his fleet engaged in battle with the Roger Pirates at Ed War over the location of an ancient weapon, and Roger refusing to join up with Shiki for world conquest. However, a freak storm occurred and Shiki got a steering wheel permanently lodged into his skull, along with half his fleet wiped out. Later, after Roger was captured and his crew disbanded, Shiki tried to see Roger, but was beaten by Garp and Sengoku in a fight when he was enraged after hearing that Roger would be executed at Logtown, the hometown that he was raised in the East Blue, the weakest blue. After losing the fight against Garp and Sengoku, he was imprisoned and impelled down, but cut off his own 2 legs. He cut off his own 2 legs to remove the chains and use his own 2 famed blades, Oto and Kogarashi, as prosthetics. He later conducted a plan that would take 20 years to complete, where he would raise hell around the world utilizing hordes of evolved mutant creatures. And these are all precursors to the Strong World movie itself, where for a brief synopsis, essentially, we have peak outfit Nami, aka Baby-chan. Baby-chan. She gets captured by the Golden Lion Shiki and taken to his floating archipelago, Marvel or Marvelli. And we find out that he's been sending powerful creatures to the East Blue and causing mayhem and destruction in that part of the world. He loathes the East Blue since it's the sea where Roger was born and died in. In his mind, it's a very unfitting location for someone as great as the Pirate King to die. He wanted Nami to be his navigator, and she of course turns him down. But then he beats Zoro, Usopp, Sanji, Chopper, and Luffy in a 1v5 fight, and as a result, Nami quote-unquote joins the crew. Long story short, after an epic intro with Luffy wearing probably his best fit of all time, they raid his main base, they beat his pirate crew and his officers, and then finally Luffy, with the assistance of Billy, aka Second Stage Evolution Karu, beats Shiki with the first ever Gigant Giant Thor axe, destroying the main island in the process and beating the Golden Lion Shiki. But now, ladies and gentlemen, once again, Shiki is back in flashback business, with a full showing of him finally in chapter 1096. He was mentioned in the Ultimate Chapter 957 and was shown briefly by Kurozumi Higurashi in chapter 965 during the Oden flashback, and potentially even shown in the 631 cover page. So I'm hyped because I dig. Oh, absolutely. I absolutely dig the Golden Lion Shiki. And ever since Sengoku mentioned Shiki along with Silver Axe and Big Mom and Kaido in the Ultimate Chapter, I always thought that we were going to see Shiki himself in one of these flashback chapters. And when that happened, it was undeniably a great day. But there is a good chance that he won't show up in real time because it wouldn't line up with the movie Strong World where he was defeated in that movie. But the movie itself isn't canon, and his other events that we see in chapter 0, episode 0, they are canon. So what if the Golden Lion Shiki was never a movie character? And that should absolutely make you wonder, just how you're wondering, what if I never ran this ad for Surfshark VPN? Oh! You see, the World Wide Web absolutely is a very dangerous place. One false step, one wrong move, and you will find out that your week, your month, your year could be completely ruined. And that's why, for my fellow weebs out there across the world, I know that we explore some very interesting locations and some very interesting places on the web.
Lord have mercy, I'm about to...
But you need protection. You need safety. And Surfshark VPN absolutely has your back with dope features like the clean web feature that clears up any malware, any viruses, any bad actors that may try and ruin your day. I am a big dude. Duh. And part of the reason why is because of them sweet, delicious cookies. Absolutely. But I hate them. I detest them online. So Surfshark VPN is my online dietitian as well. And it's my dietitian everywhere. My desktop, my laptop, my phone, wherever I am, I can have Surfshark VPN protecting me, making sure I am secure, safe, and sound. Furthermore, if you want access, let's say any region-gated content, let's say on Netflix, let's say on Hulu, and even my own channel, since I do have region-gated content.
What did he say?
And you want to gain access to this region-gated content, then you can easily do so by changing the location that you are located in with Surfshark VPN, and with the click of a button, that region-locked content has now been unlocked. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, go in the description box down below. You use code KOL, that is KOL, to get a holiday special deal and 6 months free. Once again, use code KOL, and now let's get back into the video. Finally! Now, the what if. Let's dive into this. Number one, if Shiki was not a movie character, I think that you would not have the Yonko. The Yonko would be gone, and instead you would have the Goko. You would have the 5 emperors of the new world. Correctamundo. You see, everything that happened in the past with Roger and Ed War and raiding Marineford and escaping people down, these are all canon events in the anime and the manga in episode chapter 0. This means that Shiki is hella powerful. To survive getting a wheel stuck in your skull permanently and to take on 2 legendary marines, Garp and Sengoku, at the same time, and in the process half a 1v2 fight at Marineford destroyed half of Marineford, something that Sengoku and Garp would not want to happen, but it happened nonetheless. This is a sign of how powerful the Golden Lion Shiki is. Some folks speculate that Garp and Sengoku could have been Shiki 1v1. That might or might not be the case. Maybe in the future we'll find out one day for certain. But a very important thing here is that this was around 24 to 27 years ago in the past, and we don't know Shiki's age. The thing here is that he is older in the movie, but he doesn't have gray hair. In fact, far from. He has these luscious blonde golden locks, still maintaining the mane of the Golden Lion. Though during the movie he was bald and he had skin tags on the left side of his face, indicating of course his age. But the reason why it's important is because Shiki might not be in the same position as Garp or Rayleigh or Whitebeard or Don Chinjao, where age starts to affect their combat prowess. The man is that strong in the past, potentially over the course of time, without waning in power or even gaining power, because he still may be younger than a Garp or a Sengoku or a Rayleigh. And in short, a man that strong without waning in power, potentially even getting stronger, absolutely would be worthy of, in terms of combat skills, he would be worthy of being Emperor of the Sea like Kaido or Big Mom. The next thing here is that around Roger's heyday, Shiki had the largest pirate armada. Now, of course, half of that fleet was destroyed during Ed War, but he has several decades to amass his fleet to the same level or even more individuals. So honestly, given that time frame, not a big deal to amass the same amount of men, if not more men, compared to what he had during Ed War. So it's very, very likely that he would have a pirate armada even larger than Kaido or Whitebeard. Big Mom, not too sure, because Big Mom has so many islands under her control, and she has so many chest piece soldiers. So Big Mom, we're not too sure with her. But compared to Whitebeard or Kaido, I would say, yeah, he would have more men at his disposal. And what's also really important too, is that he would have one of the hardest, if not the hardest base to invade in all of One Piece. His floating island archipelago, Marvel or Marvelli. He's literally Kaido on horse pills. He's the chimpanzee without the hair, yoked out scary. Not only would it be very hard for a substantially large force to reach the location of Marvel. But then in the process, you have to go to all these sub-islands that are full of these very powerful creatures that have been digivolved with the SIQ drug that Dr. Indigo, one of his officers, created. And then keep this in mind too, that with the powers of the float ability, he can just move around and shift these islands at will if he so wanted to. And at this point in time, 2 years even from the pre-time skip, maybe they found a way, mind control or tame in some way, these SIQ digivolved creatures, which would make them sustainable weapons in actual prolonged warfare. So I would say that Shiki undeniably would control a sizable portion of the new world and would be an emperor for damn sure. So the Yonko are gone, welcome to the Goko system. Now the next thing here, number 2, is that the Straw Hats would have fought a lot more people over the course of their journey that have ties, connections to the Golden Lion Shiki. Shiki, he's a schemer, and he has these grandiose plans. And it's very, very likely that people in other blues, even the Grand Line, would be working for Shiki. I think his ambitions would be trying to attain, like Crocodile, an ancient weapon. Also, let's say in the same vein as Big Mom or Kaido, which was revealed when they started to unveil the new Onigashima project. But in his case, for the purpose of world control, like Rox D. Sebek. Maybe I would go as far as to say world destruction, but I kind of doubt that. The only part of the world that has to really fear the wrath of the Golden Lion Shiki is the East Blue, since again, he viewed Roger's death in this area as a grave insult. The East Blue would probably be a lot more chaotic and a lot more dangerous simply because of the Golden Lion Shiki's existence. And as a result, more chances to have that wrapped up with characters like Luffy, Zoro, Nami, Sanji, and Usopp. And in the future, when they do finally reach Shiki and company, they're gonna have a long-seated bone to pick with him. But again, keep in mind here that Shiki's plans would be on a pretty wide scale. Even let's say wider than Blackbeard, having guys like Peachbeard in the Grand Line trying to take over islands. And given his powers, it's very easy to move around people and forces because he can just float them over to a certain location and then boom, they can do their thing. And then this segues into the third thing. The Navy and world government would likely fear Shiki the most out of any other emperor. Keep this in mind. One of the advantages that the WG has over most pirates is the fact that they have Kairoseki on the bottom of their ships, their gigantic galleon marine battle ships. And as a result, they can cross the comm belts with great ease. What's even better than that, in theory, is if your ships can just fly over. And outside of Kaido's ability, there is no other power that is better than the float fruit. They literally fly over the comm belts to get to certain parts of the world that are normally inaccessible. In fact, in theory, he could potentially do this for his whole floating island archipelago. He could potentially move all of his islands at will to certain locations and he could move hundreds of thousands of men that he could potentially have to parts of the world that normally would be impossible. And this could even include, in theory, Sky Islands and the Red Line. Do you see what I'm getting at here? Imagine the world government in the back of their mind somewhere always thinking, damn, this guy Shiki, if he wanted to, he could pull up with a whole island full of these OD SEQ digivolved creatures and tens of thousands of men. Especially if he's getting more and more powerful over the course of time. Zampa! Not sitting on his thumb, waiting for his plan to play out, but like with Whitebeard, has to deal with certain young upstarts that come and challenge him, or try and conquer certain islands, things of that sort. Yeah. Absolutely. I would say that coming in all, he could have a bounty of either in the highest 4 billion, so even higher than Big Mom or Kaido, or in the low 5 billion, so let's say slightly under Whitebeard. And then the fourth thing, a low-key thing here, is I do wonder how, not him per se, But Dr. Indigo, I do wonder how his research of the digivolved animals and plant life with the SIQ, how that would impact other scientists like Caesar Clown, who, by the way, if you don't know, the same voice actor, the same person, Myri from Bleach, also Queen, Vegapunk. And I also wonder how that impact Germa and Judge, because the SIQ digivolved plant fauna and animal life is kind of similar to the DNA, the lineage factor manipulation of Germa 66 and superhuman soldiers and things of that sort. Digivolved animals, superhuman soldiers kind of go hand in hand like PB and J. That's what I think though. But again, that's not for Shiki himself, that's for one of his officers. But again, makes you think. So that being said, these are my thoughts on the what if. What if Shiki was not a movie character? I think he's the real deal, massively so, where the entire Emperor's system has to expand to fit someone like Shiki in the mold. But let me know your thoughts on the subject matter at hand. If you enjoy my video content, then support it with a thumbs up. Of course, subscribe to the YouTube channel and click on that bell to join the notification squad. I'm gonna catch you cats on the flip side.
See you. Bye bye.